This is PayPal Venmo website. We will be implementing Venmo in Laravel today. Venmo is a wallet solution from PayPal. Let's go to the article. PayPal Venmo checkout in Laravel 12. We use React TypeScript starter kit. This is the table of contents. We use Laravel 12, Inertia.js, React 19, PayPal JS SDK, and Laravel HTTP client. We will implement these things: a checkout page with Venmo button, server-side order creation and capture, persistent order storage, webhook verification and status updates. This will not be covered. Let's see. Result page will be implemented. These are what will be built using this process. The step one is to create the PayPal Sandbox accounts, including Venmo. For this, we need to go to developerpaypal.com. Here, I first logged into my personal PayPal account. Then I visited this URL, developerpaypal.com. Then if we go to testing tools, Sandbox accounts, we can see we have Sandbox accounts. You can create more accounts using this create account button. You can either create a personal account or a business account. Be sure to check out country of origin as USA because Venmo is only available in USA. Then click create account. Once you create the account, you can change the email. For example, if I click this one, here you can use this change email button to change the email to whatever you want and use these usernames and passwords. You should have two accounts, one business account, merchant account, and one personal account, buy account. Note these details, email and password. This account will receive the payments during the demo. Also, we will need this personal account username and password to log into the account and make the payments. Now we have to enable Venmo for the personal account. Let's log into the personal account and enable funding Venmo. We can visit sandboxpaypal.com and use those sandbox credentials we just created. We can click this personal account here and click email, go to sign up, paste the email and click next, login. Now for the password, we can copy this and click login. We can see we have these sources: PayPal balance, credit card, and a Visa card. The next step is to create a PayPal REST app. For this, we can go to Sandbox and copy client ID and secret in apps and credentials. We can click this business account. There should be a button to create an app. I have already created this app and I can copy this client ID using this button and secret using this button. Keep these values. We will need these values during the Laravel app development. Next, we have to develop the Laravel application. We can open up a terminal like this. Here we can use Laravel new command to create the new project. Let's name this PayPal Venmo demo and press enter. It is asking to update the Laravel installer. Let's copy this command and update it first. Now it's downloading the PHP binary to upload the Laravel installer. It was a success. Now we have the latest Laravel new command. Let's run this command again. We will use React Starter Kit, built-in authentication, paste. We will install Boost. Let's install this Spotify guidelines as well. We have to select our editors. Would you like to run npm install and let's click yes. The info says application ready in this directory. We can cd into PayPal Venmo demo. Let's open the editor. Now we have all these files. Let's initialize the repository and make the initial commit. The next step is to create this config file and add this content. Let's copy this. We have to add the PayPal config file here. Let's paste the contents. Next, we have to add these variables to our .env file. Let's copy this, paste. Now we have to fill this client ID and client secret. We can copy paste these two values from the Sandbox account, business Sandbox account. I have added those values here. The next step is to create the Venmo order model and migration. For that, we have this command. Let's copy this. We can use Ctrl J to get a terminal and paste that command. It will create the model file as well as migration file. For the migration, we have to use this content. Let's copy and paste. This will create order number, a status, amount, these paper details as the table columns. Let's set this protected guarded empty array. Also, let's set this table variable. It should match what's in here. We can copy the same value and paste it here. Now we have to create this enum in the app directory. Let's create new file and paste that. Now we have enum and this enum. We have four values like this for this enum: pending, paid, failed, and refunded. Let's insert that here. Next, we have to build the PayPal Venmo service. We will create the services directory, then we will create payments. If we have more services in the future, we can use the other folders for the payments. For now, we only have the PayPal Venmo service, and we have to add the contents like this. Let's create this structure in the code. In app directory, we can click new file and paste that. As this is highlighted in red, we can see there are 8 errors. These errors will go once we complete the project. Next, we have to create the form request. For that, we can run this command. It will create a file like this. Now we have to copy this and paste like this. This will check the form and validate the contents. Amount is required, should be numeric. Description is required, should be string. Let's change amount to string as well for simplicity. And if those are not met, these messages will be returned. To handle this flow, we need three controllers. We can create those controllers using these three commands. We can copy these three commands and run those three commands at once like this, and it will create these three controllers. Let's first fill the PayPal Venmo checkout controller. This has methods like show result to handle the pages. We can see this has some errors because we have not created these front-end TypeScript files yet. These two files need to be created: Venmo checkout page and Venmo result page. Then we have the order controller with methods to store and capture the Venmo payment. Finally, the last controller we have is webhook controller to handle the webhooks from the PayPal. We can copy that and paste here. Next, we need to define a few routes needed for this functionality in here. Routes web PHP. We can copy from here to here, bootstrap app PHP, and we have to paste that inside this with middleware like this. Next, run this. We find a generate command. It will generate actions in here and routes in here. These are required for TypeScript front end to work. Next is step 10. Here we build the front end inertia pages. First, let's build the checkout page. We need to create this file, checkout PayPal Venmo checkout. We need to go to resources, JS, pages, and create that file. Let's paste and it will create the checkout folder and this file. Front end content is like this. Let's paste it here. We need another page for the result. Let's create that file as well. Let's copy. The next step is to configure webhooks in PayPal. This section we will discuss later because we are testing on local, so PayPal will not be available to post this webhook payloads to our local server. For this, we have to use a workaround like ngrok or something. We will discuss that later. Now we are ready to test the complete flow. To start, we need to create the database tables. For that, we can use this command, php artisan migrate. Let's copy this and run this command. Now the migration is run. The tables are created in the database. We should run npm run build to build the front end and php artisan serve to serve the project. Now the server is running on this address. We can click open it. Now we have this page, but what we need is this URL. Let's copy that and paste it like this. Now we can see the checkout page we just created. We can visit this URL developer paypal.com docs checkout pay with Venmo /test. This contains information related to testing Venmo. One important thing is to add this if you are not in the US. Venmo is only available in the US. So if you are testing outside US, you must enter this into the URL. By a country equals US. You have to enter it here. Enable funding Venmo must be present. Also, it should contain by a country equals US. In the production, we should remove because if the client is not in the US, the Venmo button shouldn't be displayed. After adding that, if you refresh, you will see the Venmo button is now present. The Sandbox account credentials don't work in this Venmo login. Therefore, we have to use a real account details for testing. The process is exactly similar to this standard checkout integration. In this article, in these videos, I demonstrate how the funds are transferred between one account to the other. So you can use this article as a reference. I will link this article in the description as well.